And hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Kent Holste podcast right here on the home of the Kent Holste podcast, KentHolstePodcast.com, and as well as the YouTube channel. I'm so glad that you decided to click this link and join in the conversation, as today we are going to be talking about being selfish, selfishness. It's a whole bunch of different words and ways you can say it, but it all goes back to the same point and thing. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Stay tuned, because this is the Kent Holste podcast. Have you seen or heard what all the talk is about? Well, you probably should go to KentHolstePodcast.com and visit the Sports Talk page. There you can find all the news stories and schedules for different various sports around our nation. So check it out right now. It's at www.KentHolstePodcast.com, and it's Sports Talk. All right, so here we are. We are just about into the new year of 2022. We're still in 2021, and what a big difference that it has been compared to a year ago. And hopefully we can say the same thing, but in a more better way a year from now. You know, I wanted to talk about this subject because, you know, I realize because of some other stuff that's going on in my life that selfish is a huge word that we don't like to talk about. It's something that we don't like to approach because it's just something that is always going on a constant daily basis. And the thing about being selfish is we don't like to admit that we do it. It just happens so much within our life that we just do it without even thinking that we're doing it. And you know, the thing about being selfish is when we are like that, we don't realize how much we are affecting or hurting other people that are around us. And for me, when I've been selfish, it's been for various different reasons. And my question for you is, how have you been selfish in your life? What have you done that has been selfish, that has affected other people around you? Because like I said, we don't realize when we're being selfish how much it's not just affecting ourselves, but other people around us. And the biggest thing for me, I would say, is when I've been selfish, it's been when I really want something. That's what selfish is all about, obviously, is our own personal want, our own personal gain, right? Why do we have to be selfish? Why does it have to be about just us? You know, the biggest thing that I've wanted to promote on this podcast is the fact that we should be doing things and interacting with other people because we need to stop being selfish. We need to stop doing things that only requires our own good. We need to think about other people's good, don't we? We need to think about the good that can come from our lives when we're helping other people. We don't think about the positive things that can come from not being selfish. And the thing with other things in my life is there's been times where I've been selfish where I didn't want other people to be happy. I wanted other people to be miserable because my own selfish wants. I've talked about this example a while ago, and there was a trip that my parents and I went on, and we were in Utah, I believe, and I was selfish. I didn't want to go anywhere. I had this mentality in my mind that trees are trees, hills are hills, mountains are mountains, yada, yada, yada. I didn't want to do certain things. I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I wanted to go back to the hotel where I could go swimming. I wanted to do this and I wanted to do that. I did not consider what they wanted to do. I was being selfish. I didn't think about that. I was thinking of myself. When you have to say I all the time, like I've just been saying, you know that you are being selfish. Another example of when I have been selfish is, in relationships, I would always want to do certain things. I didn't want to hear what they wanted to do. It always came to me. And I always had the excuse. We form excuses when we hear that we are being selfish, right? I said the excuse, well, I've never been in a relationship where I was the focus, where I was given the attention that I felt I needed. See, it's so funny to hear how many I statements are in these examples, right? How many times within your selfishness do you say I when you give your examples of why you think that you've deserved certain things or needed to do things more important than other people needed to do things? Do I feel bad for the times that I've done things where I've been selfish? Yes, absolutely. And the thing is the last couple years since I've had this time to rebuild my life and to realize things, is I have been selfish. You know, the whole point of one of my relationships not working out was because of my selfishness. I did not spend enough time with my wife. I didn't spend enough time with my own kids. I was focusing on other things that were not as important. I had a video that no longer is up because it got lost through changing things around within the podcast. But I talked about the importance of realizing what is more important around you, your surroundings. We are so selfish to realize that within our own selfishness, the people that are most important are right in front of us. But instead, we are selfish and we look at, well, what's more important is my video game system. What's more important is my friends. What's more important is my nice expensive car that I plan on refixing but I haven't touched. Or maybe it's fun toys like ski jets or whatever, ski-doos, or, you know, all this other stuff that you spend money on, but you should be focusing on other things that are more important, like your own family. I was selfish. I didn't think of that. I wasn't viewing things as that. I was focusing on possessions of making me happy instead of focusing on my own family to make me happy. And the end result of that was I lost what was important, what was truly important. It wasn't those items, those things. It was my family, my kids, the wife that I had. It was those things that caused other things to domino effect, other things that end up happening. The resent, the anger, the frustrations, the lying, the deceit, that all came from that could have all been prevented if I wasn't so selfish. We don't think about these things, right? We don't think about the actions that we do, the actions that we say. There's so many things in our life where we just continue to, day after day, look at ourselves and go, I'm fine. I'm not doing anything wrong. Our selfishness takes over and it forces us to think and see things that are not true. We don't see what is reality. We don't view things the way that things should be viewed as, because we are so wrapped up in our lies to ourselves within our whole world of doing all this selfish things, selfish actions that we do every single day. It is something that could be prevented, but we choose not to change it, to make things better, to do things right, and not be selfish. Have you seen the Kent Holste podcast website yet? Well, now's a good time to check it out. It has so much to offer and so much to see. There's the podcast, interviews, blogs, sports talks, the corner ropes, circle of friends, and so much more. Check it out right now. It's all at www.kentholstepodcast.com. All right, everybody. So today our topic, our conversation for today is about being selfish, doing selfish things that have caused us to lose out on so much within our life. You know, I talk about the things that I've made mistakes on in the past. And I've used so many different examples, but this is your time. This is your opportunity to talk about selfishness for your life. How you've had your own selfish ambitions, selfish wants, whatever, needs, everything that revolves around being selfish. This isn't a time to talk about somebody else that has been selfish to you. This is about you and what you have done to overcome being selfish. What have you done? What have you said to yourself that, hey, maybe I need to stop being so selfish. Maybe I need to do things better within my life to not be so selfish. So I'm not being so needy or whatever the case may be. This is the thing. The only way we're going to make things better within our life is by being honest with ourselves. And if you can talk about a time where you've been selfish, maybe someone can relate with that and be like, you know what? I've been there, but how did you fix it? What did you do differently to not be so selfish? For me, I had to realize through loss that being selfish doesn't accomplish anything but takes away what's important to your life. And until you realize just how important it is to be honest and faithful to yourself and to other people, you'll see that that's a better way of living. You'll see 125% that your life is going to be different. You know, you can think all you want that being selfish is the way to go, but it's not. Being selfish is only hurting yourself. It's hurting other people. It's not doing any good. It's not accomplish anything. It's making things worse for yourself. And until you realize that, nothing good is going to come from your life except for hard times. And do you really want that for yourself? Do you really want hard times to be the thing that happens day after day? No. Why be selfish? There's no point to it. You're not gaining anything out of it in reality, because once the truth comes out, you're going to realize that you've made the biggest mistake of your life. And there's so many people today that are sitting in our jail systems. There's so many people within our mental health treatment facilities that are sitting there right now that are there because of their own selfishness. They did things out of selfishness. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of the portion of people sitting in our prison systems and jail systems are because of selfishness. They did that to themselves. The next step that they have to realize is owning up to what they've done. That's the next question. Have you owned up to your selfishness? The fact of the matter is when you are selfish and you hold in all these feelings and emotions that are not true, the only person that you are hurting is yourself. So why do that damage to yourself? The question keeps popping up. It's the same thing. Why? There's no point. And as I talk about the things that I've done in my past of being selfish, it really hurts. It hurts to know that it has taken me this long to realize that if I would have done things better, if I would have just played my cards out better and been honest, and not only that, been a better person, maybe things would have been a lot differently. Hey everyone, I just want to take this time to thank you for tuning in to today's show. Without your support and watching these videos, this podcast wouldn't be where it's at today. And the same goes for the website as well, and the YouTube channel. So to help me out even more, if you haven't done so yet, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And don't forget to ring that bell so you can be notified when a new amazing content comes out. Also, don't forget to check out all the other social media sites as well, and like, share, and comment, and subscribe there too. It all is being a part of this community where we can come together and show that we care for one another, so we can motivate and encourage others. So thanks again for tuning in, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of the show. The following announcement is scheduled for one click and is for any of your devices. That's right, we're talking about the corner ropes. And it's all at the Kent Holste Podcast website. There you'll find any of my thoughts and reviews on any of the TV shows, the pay-per-views, or even my thoughts on any of my unboxings from Pro Wrestling Crate or Pro Wrestling Loot. Go check it out right now. It's all at the Kent Holste Podcast website at The Corner Ropes on www.kentholstepodcast.com. Now that sounds like a true championship win. All right, you guys. So today we've talked about being selfish, selflessness, so many different ways of saying the word selfish. And so I hope that you've taken something from this today. I really hope that you share your experiences within your selfishness so other people can know that they're not alone within their mistakes. You know, I would say faults, but that's too much. We all know that we have our own faults. But you know what? We would be too selfish not to admit that we make mistakes. And we do things when we think about it. Sometimes our selfishness is because we think we're doing good, but we don't really take the time to realize that maybe it's not so good, that we're doing things and saying things in a way to hurt people that we don't really think about. And that's not a good thing. Don't let your selfishness get in the way of your kindness. Be that person today that helps somebody and give your time. That's another thing that we haven't talked about. When we're not doing things for other people, when we have that opportunity to sign up for that thing that gets handed to us and we pick up the sheet and we go, oh, look, there's a charity event and they're looking for people to help. Or, hey, the local food kitchen is asking for people to volunteer. Oh, there's a church event where they're going on a mission trip. Oh, that's about the time that I have a day off. Well, too bad I'm going to find some other thing to do. Like maybe I need sleep. Maybe I'm going to go to the lake. Maybe I'm going to hang out with my friend and do whatever, play video games. None of those things are as important as giving yourself towards other people, giving your time, giving your energy. That's replacing your selfishness with kindness. And you know, when you're saying, oh, well, I have this $5, maybe even $1, and you see someone who's starving, who all they need is just one person to step up and help them and give them a meal because they can't afford it, because they're homeless, because they have no one that can back them up. And you keep that $1. That's being selfish when you know that you really don't need that $1 or that $5, because that $1 or $5 could go a long way to someone who needs it the most, but yet you choose not to. That's being selfish. Me not taking the time to share about my life experiences, about what I've gone through, would be selfish because my experiences could help somebody else realize that it's not the end. It's just the beginning. Me sharing my stories of my pain that I've gone through, being bullied, being molested, all this other things that I've talked about in prior podcasts, helps other people realize that, hey, I'm not the only one who's gone through that. I can get through it. I can pull through. I can do anything that I set my mind to. I can make a difference. Instead of making a big deal about it and causing more problems and not making anything good or better, people are just staying and just doing things that aren't right. But instead, people could be taking this time to step up and make a difference and helping people and letting people know that they're not alone in their pain. That's what this is about. So be that person today. Don't be selfish. Remember to think and be positive. Do what you can today, not what you can't. I believe in you. Don't you think you should too? And, you know, if you see someone who's struggling, think about what I said about not being selfish. Be kind. And one of those ways that you can be kind is if you see someone who served our country, whether it be military, police, fire, or even the hardworking people in our medical systems, Give them a fist bump. Give them an elbow. Tell them how much you appreciate them. You never know how much they might appreciate that one random act of kindness. So do it today. And thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I really hope that you enjoy it. If you do, send me an email. Let me know what you think. Give me ideas on future podcasts or what you would like to see on our website here on KentHolstePodcast.com. That email address is simple, KentHolstePodcast@gmail.com. I can't wait to hear from you. Also, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe to this channel on the YouTube channel, and like, share, and comment on all the social media platforms under the Kent Holste Podcast. So, until the next time we talk, please be safe, please be kind. Happy New Year to you guys, and God bless.